Welcome to the Equinety Podcast, where horse owners just like you share their incredible Equinety stories and how Equinety is changing their horses' lives. Whether you're searching for something to give your performance horse better focus, faster recovery, and more stamina, or in the extreme case where all hope seems lost, give your horse what it needs to help heal at a cellular level, you'll find it here. So jump in on today's episode to hear how Equinety is helping horses worldwide. Now, welcome your host, John Dowdy.
Hello and welcome to this week's Equinety Podcast. This is I'm just going to say a miraculous one. I always tell people that the Equinety product is not a miracle supplement, but it sure does some miraculous things, and I think this story fits right into that category. We're going to swing up into Pennsylvania. Chris Roll, welcome to the Equinety Podcast.
Thank you, John. It's good to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and I'm excited to talk about this one. I actually came across one of your comments in a post that on one of the ads that we were running on Facebook, and you told the story of you have two mini ponies in their 20s, and one of them was scheduled to be euthanized, and then something quite miraculous happened. But let's talk about this one in particular, what you were dealing with prior to finding the Equinety product. What was going on with this one?
Okay, this was a mid-20s miniature horse. She got down where she was stiff-jointed, and all she wanted to do was lay down all the time, and I thought maybe it was joint problems, so I put her on a joint supplement, and that didn't help. And the farrier came, and he said that she was foundered, so the owner decided we were going to have her euthanized before winter because she wasn't moving enough to keep her body heat up. I saw ads on Facebook for Equinety, and I read the reviews, and I said, let me try this as one last resort for her. If it doesn't work, then we'll have her euthanized. Within 7 days, this miniature horse was back up, and it's been probably 2 months now or 3 that she's been on Equinety, and she is now bucking and running and feisty as ever.
Now, that's pretty darn amazing. And again, I got to put the asterisk on this. This is not a miracle supplement. I'm just going to throw that out there. But let's go back to some of the stuff that you were dealing with. So, you thought it was a shoulder issue. You were working with a couple different farriers, and they were able to say, hey, no, this horse is foundered, which this horse had been foundered before?
Prior to us buying her, yes, she had been foundered before, but she was good up until the point where she had gotten down with foot pain.
Yeah. And then she was so bad that she just couldn't really get up. You were having to feed her while she was
No, I fed her out of a feed pan on the ground because she wouldn't want to get up. I mean, she would just lay there and eat out of this pan. Mm-hmm. And then I'd make her get up so that she could move around because it's not good for their digestion to lay and eat, So I would make her get up, but she would eat. She would get up and eat and then back down right away.
Right. Just in a lot of pain. Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, I tried joint supplements and I tried Butte, and nothing seemed to help her. And then, like I said, I read the Equinety reviews, and I thought, why not? So I tried it, and I'm telling you, like you said, it's not a miracle cure, but it did miracles for her.
Right. And what were now you were dealing with two different farriers, so they obviously saw her in her current condition, and then how long was it while they were on Equinety and until they had seen her again? What were their reactions?
Probably it was when they saw her when she was really bad, where she wouldn't even stand up. They couldn't even trim her feet while she was standing up. They did her while she was laying down because her feet were so bad. And then after she was on Equinety, I would say probably a month, and the farrier came back, and he could not believe that she was still there.
Wow. Because she was already scheduled to be put down.
She was already scheduled, yes. Her grave is dug, and it's still there. We didn't close it because we figured, it's dug, and it's back in an area where it's not bothering anything. But she's going to stay around for a while, I think.
Yeah. So those farriers must have been pretty shocked then to see her, as you said, when they came back and saw her, like, what in the world?
Yes, they were. They didn't expect her to still be there.
How about that? Yeah, so how's her demeanor and everything nowadays?
Oh, she's great. like I said, she's feisty. If I leave the gate open, she goes out and runs up the road, and I have to run her down. And she's just back to being the normal little thing she was before all this happened.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing story, I tell you. Now, you have another little mini. What was going on with her?
I have another one. She's a larger pony. She's aged, and she was heavy really bad to the point where she just coughed and coughed and coughed. And I thought, oh, I can't deal with this poor horse. She would take 10 steps and then she'd stand there and cough. So I had called the Equinety company and talked to somebody there, and they said that Equinety works on the pituitary gland, and it helps where the horse needs it. So I thought, well, why not try her on this Equinety too? So I put her on it, and her heaves have gone away.
Wow.
She now no longer coughs. She rips around, and before, if she'd run around the barnyard, she'd have to stop and cough. Now she doesn't.
Oh, gosh.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and to expand on that just a little bit, the Equinety product, if you're tuning in for the first time and maybe you've seen us around running ads and, wondering what this stuff really is, it's 100% pure amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, but they're specifically combined and formulated to stimulate the pituitary gland, which is the master gland in the body. That's what releases the necessary hormones, which then help heal the body at a cellular level. There's no fillers, there's no sugars, no starches, there's no loading dose. And a serving size is 5.2 grams, which is not quite a tablespoon. So a very, very small amount, whether it's in a mini, big draft horse, the pituitary is roughly the same size. So they all get the same amount. And I think you explained it the best. Give this to the body, and the body determines where to send those hormones for the healing. So in essence, it's customizing to what the horse needs. In your first one, we're talking about a serious, really, really serious condition and situation with the founder. And in the second one with heaves, completely different things, and one little scoop seemed to help. Now, I know you had mentioned to me earlier that you were using another supplement to try to help with the heaves. What did you find with that particular one? How long were you using that one?
I was using a supplement that was supposed to help with heaves, with opening them up their channels and helping them to breathe. She was on that daily dose for probably 2 months, and I did not see any results at all with that. With Equinety, she was on it for probably 7 to 10 days, and I saw results right away with that.
Wow. Yeah. And I will say this as a disclaimer as well. We have a lot of questions. Does this product help with heaves in particular? I would say more often than not, we've had very positive feedback. I've had people come back to us and say, no, it didn't help, but I don't know the details. Did they just try it for 15 days? Did they try it for 30? I don't know that information. But at the end, yeah. So at the end of the day, no matter what you're going through or what challenges or issues you're having with your horse, this is a great product to try, because it does give the body what it needs to help heal at a cellular level. And, there's some pretty miraculous stories. And again, I'll reiterate, it's not a miracle supplement, but it sure does some miraculous things, as in this story here. So, well, Chris, I tell you, I really appreciate you taking the time to share these stories on the Equinety Podcast. I know there's going to be people that will benefit. And if there's somebody that might be listening in for the first time, that might be on the fence, should I try this or not? What advice would you have to give them?
Read the reviews. They can contact me personally. I swear by the stuff. So
yeah,
I highly recommend, if you need to try something, try it. Because I went through so many different supplements, and this one I found, and it worked. Yeah,
that's great. We are blessed for sure. So, well, Chris Roll out of Pennsylvania, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story here on the Equinety Podcast.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
That's all for this episode of the Equinety Podcast. For more information on purchasing Equinety, be sure to visit our website at teamequinety.com, where you'll also find product information as well as more testimonials on how others have seen amazing results by implementing Equinety into their horse's supplement regime. We'll have more stories on how Equinety is helping horses worldwide right here on a future episode of the Equinety Podcast.